He's alive!
We had Frankenstein come in for consultation regarding his movement and discomfort, and his problem was sort of twofold that he expressed. One was his disenchantment with his nightly creeps and his creep style. The way he put it, he was no longer able to get the drop on anyone. Now, first thing we did, though, we did lay ground rules, and I told him if we're going to help him out, we're not going to help him out so he can get the drop on little kids anymore. His days of tossing kids in lakes is over, okay? So he is contractually obligated to not do that. He's legally bound. He did sign a contract. He had tried switching to Vibram 5 fingers, right? Removing the mechanical boots, military issued. Fortunately, he couldn't find a model in his size, right? Go figure. So he resorted to barefoot, but he was having a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort for it. Now, he's got tough skin, so cuts and abrasions were not an issue, but severe discomfort and just lack of mobility, right? Sore all the time, hurting all the time. So he came in and we took a look, and years and years and years and years of creeping and stalking in those heavy, dense, thick, military-issued boots with actually reinforced soles. We put them on the scale, and his boots were about 25 pounds. So you kind of get a sense for what he's trudging up when he's moving. Every step is almost like moving in mud. So he essentially had no mobility in the ankles, no mobility in the knees, very, very tight hips. So it comes as no surprise that he's got a problem creeping barefoot in the woods. Really what we looked at were getting that mobility back. So one of the top end movements, that was our goal that we had him doing, was a combination, the false jump into a descending shin roll, okay, alternating roll. So when taking a look at this, if you find it problematic, especially around the ankles and the knees, it's advisable, go back, look at some of the videos on ankle mobility and knee mobility and hip mobility, some of the videos on proper squatting and lunging, and then come back and try this maneuver. Start with feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back and down. We're going to come up on the ball of foot, all right, on ball of foot, squeeze the glutes, open the hips, pull the chest up and back, okay? So we're really trying to flex through the ankles, come back to flat foot, break through the hips, squat down, okay? From here, you'll need to drop, in this case, the right knee. Drop the right knee in, try to drive the butt towards the heel. The tighter this is, the harder this is. You may need to use your hands as a brace, work the opposite leg out a little bit more, just for a little bit more room to try to drive that butt towards the heel. You'll be finding, looking for the instep on this right foot, okay? Now from here, we're gonna point the toes back. Just like you had the toes flexed in that top false jump position, you're gonna point the toes back, okay? So as long as they're pulling back, still on the instep, you're perfectly fine, you're safe here, okay? You may not have the depth, but you're safe in this position. From here, we're gonna look to roll over and find our laces, okay? So we're rotating at the knee and the ankle, we're rolling over, sweeping the butt to your heel, okay? Sitting down, butt driving into the instep, okay? Rolled over onto your laces. This may not be comfortable, okay? And certainly Frankenstein was nowhere close to doing this in the first session, okay? So if this is very uncomfortable, don't go as deep, or again, back things up. Work on ankle, knee, hip mobility before you drop down and do this, okay? If you have healthy knees, ankles, and hips, this is a great position. If you don't, then you're not ready for this yet, okay? So we're rolling over to the instep. Now from here, there's quite a distance between knee and instep on the other side, okay? All that we're gonna do is use the hand for a brace. We're gonna swing the knee in towards the instep, swing it back out, okay? That's it. From here, we're gonna unwind out of this. We're gonna roll over from laces back to instep, butt comes off the instep, outside of the heel. We're gonna unwind this knee up, okay, into this sort of bottom, almost sumo squat position, because we did go wider now, okay? Switching to the opposite side. Left knee drops in. Use your hands for a brace if you need it. If you need to widen your stance, again, brace with your hands, walk your knee out, your foot out a little bit, give yourself a little bit more room to play with, that's fine. Finding the instep, okay? As long as you're on your instep, you're safe here. finding the instep. If this is as far as you go, great, that's fine. Exhale and drive your butt towards your heel, okay? When you're comfortable, point the toes, find your laces, and we're gonna roll the butt towards the instep, okay? Still sitting up nice and tall. If you feel too much torque on the knee here, or the ankle, back out of it, you're not ready for it. Again, drop back down to basic mobility first, okay? From here, again, pretty wide distance between knee and instep. Brace if you need to brace. We're gonna work the knee in towards the instep, work it back out. Unwind, laces come off the ground, find your instep again, unwind the knee back out. In this wider sumo squat position, stand up, spine's long, up on your toes, back down. Drop it in, roll it out, in, out, back up. Okay, so that's 2 repetitions. Back and forth, up is 1 repetition. That's gonna be your false jump into descending shin roll. Again, higher level movement. That's where we worked towards with Frankenstein. He's actually doing phenomenal with it now. He's getting a drop on a lot of people now. So give it a go, but please do remember, if you haven't worked your basic mobility, knee, ankle, and hip, and you don't have any kind of depth in your squat, you're not ready for this, so go back, work the beginner material first, then come out to this, and you'll be creeping the woods just like Frankenstein.